edition. The free agent frenzy edition. And trades 2 edition. The Zaire Franklin is coming. Colby Wooden is going edition. The Sean Ryan is staying edition. The Aaron Banks is staying edition. The Elton Jenkins and Rasheed Walker, although not officially yet, are going edition. And the Rashan Gary. It was quite a weekend for Rashan Gary. He was he said goodbye. He said he was hacked, and now he's been traded edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, and all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and so is the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. But while I usually ask him how he's doing, I'm going to wait because it is time for breaking news.
Now this is some breaking news.
The Micah Parsons trade is now Micah Parsons and a 4th-round pick for 2 first-round picks, Kenny Clark and Rashan Gary. Rashan Gary to the Dallas Cowboys per Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport and everybody else in the insider realm. A trade that is consummated moments before the program began. But about, 48 hours after Rashan was hacked and someone said farewell for him. My spidey sense is tingling. But Rashan Gary, the Packers' 2019 first-round pick, 12th overall, is now a Dallas Cowboy. The Packers reportedly getting a 4th-round pick in return, which I'm eager to hear what Tausch thinks of that, because that's more than I would have expected, and it's going to make things really interesting in the 2027 NFL Draft when Gutey has a bunch of compensatory picks and now a 4th-rounder for Rashan Gary. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. What spidey senses are up?
Well, I'm still. I think Rashan Gary probably was notified. Hey, thank you for your service. We really appreciate you, but the time has come, and so we're working on some trade opportunities. But if we don't find any, we're going to release you. And then he used a little AI, apparently, because as sleuthing Jesse Nelson discovered, there's apparently some sort of template out there that players can use for farewells. And then he got a call saying, hey, man, we're trying to make a trade here. Maybe you could take that down? Then it was deleted. Then he was hacked, and now he's traded to the Dallas Cowboys. That's what my spidey sense is telling me. Am I misguided?
I don't know. Just when you say that, I'm very surprised that the Cowboys gave up a 4th because the Packers are going to release Rashan Gary. They were not going to keep him at that salary. So, if you're Rashan Gary, I'm sure Friday when he posted that, he would have loved to have been a free agent. Maybe that was that their market for him making, $20, $25 million a year was not going to be there. I don't know. This tells me it would have been because the Cowboys, they didn't need to, or at least in my opinion, probably give that much. Initially, when I was driving in, I had heard it was a 7th. A 4th-round pick, that's very good value getting back. And it just makes me think, boy, Gutey really, not that he's slaughtered or TKO'd or any of that, but this Micah Parsons trade continues to look better and better because, Rashan Gary, while I, put some pushback to, oh, he's trash and all this other stuff. He did not finish the season well. He was not the premier elite pass rusher when we needed him to be, but he is a good football player. He's physical. He can stop. He can, do some things. And obviously Dallas, when they went and made this trade, they wanted to be stouter against the run, and they needed a little bit more pass rush. I don't know how this is all going to shake out for them, but I think as a Packer fan today, you can probably look at this and say, dang, that's good. Like, I know from my perspective, I anticipated them releasing him and getting nothing. And to get a fourth-round pick back, man, kudos to Gutey. Well done.
I am 100% Team Tausch on that. It was first reported it was a day 3 pick in 2027. And I thought, okay, well, maybe they got 6th, 7th round pick. That's, better than nothing, right? If that reporting is true and it is a 4th round pick, kudos to Gutey. Seriously. I know I get viewed as a harsh critic of him, but that's really significant. And again, if we're looking at what their free agency exodus might look like, you're talking about Malik Willis most likely fetching a 3rd round pick in the compensatory range in 2027. Rasheed Walker fetching a 3rd round pick potentially. Quay Walker, 5th, 6th round pick. Romeo Dobbs, 5th, 6th round pick, depending on what their contracts look like. Tausch, if that happens, they still don't have a 1st round pick in 2027, but they certainly have the ammunition to go get one via a trade then, or maybe even they have the ammunition to get a 1st round pick this year if they're packaging some of next year's picks, knowing they're going to get those compensatory selections.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think what it does tell you is that the Packers plan, and that they look at this and they had a plan, and when an opportunity came about, they were able to pounce. And that's one of the things that I think Russ Ball and Gutey both deserve a ton of credit for. You never hamstring yourselves where you can't make any moves or you can't do anything. And then when you do, you have a plan to kind of recapture or at least minimize some of the damage that is done when you have to give up 1st-round picks. You always are looking, and you have this idea, we're going to draft this guy to replace this guy, and then that will, obviously you get a young contract, you get a rookie contract with a younger player, and you hope that that works well. When it doesn't, instead of just sitting there and saying, oh, shucks, that didn't work, you have plan B, and then you have plan C, and then free agency, all of the things that you're looking for to build a roster. And I know last week we had some fun with the Ted Thompson versus Gutey comparisons, and from a draft pick standpoint, Ted Thompson kept his guys around for a lot longer. They ended up having a lot of really stellar careers from those draft picks, and I think Gutey's, you kind of looked at and said, Gutey's philosophy is different. Gutey's philosophy is, and that's why the Sean Ryan, which I know we'll get to, signing was intriguing to me, because for the most part, you look at this, and if you're not a big-time player or at least a really solid starter, we're not going to just pay you and let you continue on. We will replace you, and we will find a different alternative, whether it be a draft pick, whether it be free agency, or whether it be a summer pickup, Rasul Douglas, et cetera, and they're constantly pushing the envelope and not staying status quo. That has its negatives as well, but that obviously is the way Brian Gutekunst is looking at how he wants to build a roster.
So Rashan Gary's career with the Packers is over. That trade will become official after the new league year begins on Wednesday, and he passes his physical and everything else.
You think Rashan Gary's happy about this?
No, I think he probably wanted to be a free agent.
But he does get his he's getting his salary for this year. He's got another year left. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, right?
Yes, this year and next year.
But there will probably be limited amount of guaranteed money. I do wonder if Dallas did this knowing they were going to redo his deal, because And I mean, cap-wise, I don't think that's going to be super friendly. And if you're going to give up a fourth, that could be just a one-year rental. But, yeah, I would think from Rashan Gary's standpoint, he wanted to be released. That's why he put that out there. I wonder why he backtracked on Friday if that was indeed what he wanted, unless he felt like maybe Dallas or someone was working in good faith to do that. Because from a player's standpoint, he wanted to be a free agent sooner rather than later so he could get a jump on the market.
Right.
And now this played out the way it did. I'd be curious Rashan's thoughts on that.
To Tausch's point, there are a lot of players who have been released that have agreed to contracts, including former Badger and former Bayport fullback. Well, I guess he was the quarterback there. Alec Ingold, who was released by the Dolphins, signed with the Chargers. Tyler Biotish. There's a bunch of examples of that. So Rashan Gary, if he'd have been released on Friday and not hacked by some nefarious social media hacker, maybe he does find a new home. Maybe he does get some guaranteed money. To your point, he does not get – he's already gotten his, obviously, guaranteed signing bonus. There is no guaranteed money left in his contract. So when the Packers release him or trade him, his new team does inherit his old contract, which means he's got a base salary for this year that I would think they will adjust once he gets there of $18 million. But other than that, no, there's no fresh, guaranteed money because he's got 31 teams.
Yeah, and that's why he was pushing to get released. He wants.
Well, I was told he was hacked, Tausch. I was told he was not. This was not some sort of
maybe, but
a plan.
In his mindset, I'm sure, and his representatives, I'm sure they would prefer. Let's go get a fresh start. Let's get some guaranteed money and get another 2 years of committed cash. Because right now, let's say he finishes this season off in Dallas the way he finished the season in Green Bay, he will not get another contract, or he won't see whatever that non-guaranteed amount would be next year.
Mm-hmm. If I may, you say if he finishes the 2026 season in Dallas the way he finished the 2025 season and his final season in Green Bay, is there any – David just tweeted on the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed, and a few others I'm sure are thinking this as well. Is there any part of you that is nervous that he will go to Dallas and have a 13-sack season?
I don't think I'm nervous about that. I think he could have a very similar season to what he just did, which, again, what I was trying to say last week where, people got up in arms about, he had a productive season last year when you just look at the numbers, and especially early. 7.5 sacks and 60 pressures, however you want to look at those numbers, is nothing to sneeze at. He's a big, strong, physical dude. Now, has he lost a step? Go ahead and look at the film. You can decide. When he's chasing down quarterbacks, teams were picking on bootlegging at him. Mm-hmm. Those are facts. That's not me being you-know-what. That's just stating what the Bears did and what other teams tried to do. But as far as just playing and lining up and being physical and smacking people in the mouth and setting edges, he still is very good at that. Is he a strong bull rusher? Yes. Is he quick enough and dynamic enough to be a elite pass rusher? He was not in the second half of the season. Those are also facts, and that's why Green Bay is letting him go. And I think he should be very happy as a Packer fan today that you were able to get some value back and move it along with your new group. Now maybe that gives you that opportunity to keep an Enigbare or someone else to provide some more depth for what is going to be Micah Parsons and LVN coming off the edge.
Again, this trade frees up $11 million in cap space. You take his salary off the books. You obviously do eat some dead cap money, but he had a $28+ million cap number if he was on your roster this season. Now he's not. So you clear up $11 million in cap space, which you can now use how you choose. Again, kudos to Gutey. I don't want to say I'm shocked, But I'm very surprised that he got a 4th-round pick. If that reporting is accurate, and it is from both Adam Schefter and the insiders at the NFL Network, if that reporting is accurate, well done. Well done.
Have 32 Green Bay Packer beat reporters done it, though? Have they all retweeted it? Because until that happens, I don't think it's confirmed.
One last question on this before we move forward to all of the other.
That got poo-pooed. I mean, I literally, when I was walking out of the office on Friday, the Rashan Gary, every Packer person that I followed, it was bing, 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 same thing. Probably 30 of them, which is a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if there's 30 beat writers. There's certainly lots of people that tweet about the Packers.
There's at least 30 tweeter beaters.
I would again emphasize that the insider game is what it is, and that stuff gets fed to those guys, and they do a great job with what they do. It's a lot different than when I started in this business, but I'm sorry, I do not believe the "I was hacked" excuse, which felt like a very throwback to like the early days of social media excuse, and I did not find that credible.
It wasn't even anything bad. Why would you even say you got hacked? It wasn't like there was like a bunch of like salacious stuff on there. He said thank you.
Yeah, and
what hacker is going to go through that to say thank you? Like that doesn't make any sense.
There have been other people that have been hacked that it took them a really long time to get back into their accounts. Like the hackers change your password, and then they start posting, whatever. Rashan apparently was able to get back in there and delete it fairly quickly. So, again, this is the story we were told.
Can you be hacked by your own team? Because that can happen.
If you're able to hack a social media account of an athlete as prominent as Rashan Gary, I would assume the first thing you're going to do is not post a farewell message to Packers fans. You would post a link that would be like, hey, everybody, donate to this charity of mine, and then you steal everyone's money.
Yeah, let's stop calling it hacked until it's proven it was hacked.
Okay,
it was a post.
That's what was claimed. All right, we compared Gutey and Ted at the end of last week. Ted had some clunkers of first-round picks. Brian Gutekunst does not have a first-round pick this year or next year, so as of now, his first-round track record is as follows. Jair Alexander, Rashan Gary, Darnell Savage, Jordan Love, Eric Stokes, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, Jordan Morgan, and Matthew Golden. Obviously, lots of time left for Jordan Morgan going into his 3rd season, Matthew Golden going into his 2nd, LVN in a colossal role now, with them having officially moved on from Rashan Gary. How do you view that list of players?
I think there have been a lot of misses, obviously, but there have been a lot of guys that have played a lot of football here, and good football. Jair Alexander got a 2nd contract. Rashan Gary got a 2nd contract. Mm-hmm. Darnell Savage, it probably didn't work. I think that's a fair assessment of it. LVN, to be determined. Matthew Golden, to be determined. Jordan Morgan, to be determined. Mm-hmm. That's how I would look at it. So it has not been home runs. It's been good, I think, a couple of good, solid picks. And have you gotten the game changers that you've needed when you're building through the draft? You have not. But I again go back to Gutey builds rosters differently than what we're accustomed to. He is more aggressive in free agency. He looks at things in a little different perspective. He will make trades. He'll do some things that maybe the prior general manager didn't do. And he does not give as long of a rope for guys to continue to grow. Like they get 3, 4, first-round picks, sometimes 5 years. He has not hit home runs. I think the closest one there would be Jair, and I don't think anybody's saying that was one of those right down the foul pole and did that stay fair or not? That wasn't because of injury and because of how it played out. He was a great player for a short period of time. Rashan Gary was a good player for the vast majority of the time that he was healthy here. And outside of that, I don't think there's anybody that you can look at. You got Jordan Love, which you're ecstatic about. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, and when you get that right, that kind of trumps all the other draft picks too.
Well, while his track record with first-round picks may be uneven, Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin's track record is exquisite.
Our homes need to be ready for just about anything in Wisconsin, and it needs to be year-round. That's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything that they do. The right windows and doors will vastly improve your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. And with Pella, you will get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and within your budget. Don't miss out on 0% financing until 2032. This offer ends on the 31st of March. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
It is 1 hour, T-minus 1 hour and 38 minutes until the quote-unquote legal tampering period opens. We are expecting a mass exodus of Packers players who are hitting the free agent market. And we will see how many of them get immediate offers once that window opens. But before that, lots of other moves by the Green Bay Packers, and we'll talk about them next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Cardless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Cardless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
People hear Horicon Bank and they think local instantaneously. Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization, and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million-dollar companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhardt Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhardt.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
Buying or selling a home isn't just a transaction. It's one of life's biggest decisions.
That's why clarity, trust, and the right guidance matter, especially in an ever-changing market.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
I'm John Lorenz.
And I'm Taylor Mangini. Our team delivers a white glove experience at every price point, combining expert negotiation, local insight, and genuine care.
Get started today with a team you can trust at wendorfteam.kw.com.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The free agent negotiating window, legalized tampering, if you will, still an hour and 33 minutes away from opening, but that doesn't mean the Packers were not busy over the weekend. And I think we have their starting 5 on the offensive line, and it's not that different than what it was when they finished the season. Tausch, you said this while we were discussing the Rashan Gary trade, and I wanted to circle back to it. I talked to Sean Ryan in October after he had been benched and didn't play a single offensive snap against the Cardinals. I talked to him again when he cleaned out his locker after the loss to the Bears. I told him, hey, I've really enjoyed covering you. I don't know if I'm going to see you again, but I appreciate you always being honest and being a stand-up guy and usually swearing.
He said, why the hell didn't I win a Mulhern Award then?
Yeah, he was in the balloting. He finished, I believe, 4th.
They got like 6 guys won it, so that's 10th.
No, it was 3 guys won it, and then
so
him.
It's 7th.
He was 4th. But I thought I wasn't going to see him again, unless I was doing a story about how he's coming back to Lambeau as a member of the whatever. Instead, he gets a 3-year, $33 million extension. It includes an $11 million signing bonus up front, and he will be the Packers' starting center in 2026. I was surprised. Were you?
Not really, because I think when you start looking at it, you, as I've said, you can't spend top dollar at every spot. And I think Gutey is, looking at it. Do I think that the Green Bay Packers feel like they could have a better player than Sean Ryan at some of these spots? The proof would be in the pudding in the fact that they've tried to constantly replace him. Sean did a great job of stepping in after Elton got hurt. Thought he did enough good things at center. I think he's going to continue to grow. And the key is you have to hope that those 2 guards, Banks and Belton, elevate their game, because Sean Ryan is not going to be Linderbaum. He's not going to be Corey Linsley, but he can be a very solid player. And I thought one of the things that we've gotten away from here is there's nothing wrong with paying solid players solid money, not bonko. And this is one of those cases where I think instead of searching and going and drafting a young guy and hoping, you know what you have. He's steady. He's physical. He's proven that he's resilient and that he will compete. And this is, in the grand scheme of things, for a starting center, it's a nice contract. But you're going to probably be looking at that market doubling at least in the next year or two. And you have a player that is going into his prime, who knows the system, who knows what Matt LaFleur wants. And I think he is a steady player that in the past I think Green Bay would have looked to replace with someone better. But I think there's some lessons learned that maybe it's best sometimes to have some steady players that know the system, that are bought in, sticking around, rather than try and bring in a 1 or 2 year replacement guy that might be breaking down. So I like the move. I think it's great for I think it's really good for Sean. I think it's going to be really good for this Packers O-line to have some continuity and some stability rather than what looked like it could have been when we initially started talking this offseason about all of the changes. This group still, I think there's still going to be a lot of question marks about this group until you see more consistent play. But I think the signing of Sean Ryan says we feel a lot better about having some guys in this spot that we can work. And by the way, if they do draft a guy, I'm guessing Sean Ryan, this contract, and I have not looked at the details of it, I'm guessing this is one of those that could be a 1-year deal.
Right. And we'll get into everything that they did. We're going to go kind of step by step through all the different maneuvers that Gutey has done in the last several days. But to your point, I thought he was going to get John Runyon, right? Decent, solid, good player that you just don't bring back, and you just recycle with a new rookie who goes through the growing pains. Gutey believes in coming out on the other side of those growing pains with a player who's developed. I was surprised. When I look at Sean Ryan, the thing that I'm most impressed with, besides the fact that he's a tough guy and physical and a big dude, is his perseverance. Right? Like, you said it at the beginning of your soliloquy there. It felt like they were always trying to replace him. Like, the entire time that he's been in the lineup, he obviously didn't play as a rookie, third-round pick, then gets suspended for the final 6 games of the season. But in 23 and 24, and even this past season, they're constantly trying to give his job away. And, you tell that story about Scott Wells and how he responded when they tried to give his job to Jason Spitz. I got to say, a guy who responds the way that Sean Ryan has, he gets my respect. And now he gets a $33 million 3-year contract. Does that tell you something about his character?
Yeah. Literally, I just said that in the soliloquy. I think it's a big part of how people will always tell you, you want to see how guys respond to adversity. Well, if you're constantly having to respond to adversity, that means you're not any good. Like it can't always be about that. It also has to be that you've shown some steps, and I think that's where, if he had stayed at guard and not gotten that opportunity to play center, I don't know if he's back here.
I don't think he is.
So that is one of those cases where you have to be ready for an opportunity that comes and be ready to move on it. So, does resiliency, is that a good thing? I mean, yeah, no blank. Of course it is. When you can show that you're not going to give in, and I mean, they have called him out. They've said he wasn't in shape. This organization and this group have really gotten after him. He was a high pick that didn't play. They redshirted. And then, you didn't play again, and you're kind of like, all right. And then when you saw him get in there, and I know I talked with Balaga about this, he plays with like that enthusiasm, and he goes really hard, and you just wonder, well, all right, well, if you're gonna come off and he plays physical, he does what you're looking for. Is he, naturally the athlete that a lot of other guys are? No, but he can definitely get the job done. And I think as he continues to grow and learn the center spot, I do wonder, is he going to be able to do all of the difficult things? I've said this 100 times. The hardest thing to do on the O-line is to reach a nose, because the nose tackles are really good, and it's you and him. And in order to run the football effectively, you either need to give help, which then doesn't allow you to do everything you want, But if you have that center that can get out in space and then reach the nose tackle and you feel comfortable doing it, your run game is wide open. I don't know if that is going to be the case, but that will be, I'm sure, something you continue to work on as you retool this run game because, as I've said all offseason, the run game has been the biggest problem, I think, in giving up leads and in not being able to finish football games. I do wonder if Green Bay was hoping that maybe something else would come, and then this is their fallback plan. We shall see if that was indeed the case, but right now this is where it's at. I would still expect the Green Bay Packers, if there's a center available early in one of their, one of these draft picks that they have, second, third, whatever round it's going to be, I would not be surprised if they still went down that road.
All right, last thing on Sean Rhyan. You said the idea of him developing as a center. The caveat that I always deliver when I say something like this applies, which is Pro Football Focus's grades are not the gospel. Take them for what they're worth. His overall grade ranked 31st out of the 40 centers that were graded. You came into the league as a rookie. You played at a high level immediately. You certainly developed into an even better player as that process went. But you played the position that you played at Wisconsin, right? You were a right tackle for the Badgers. Earl Dotson's back locks up. You're a right tackle for the Packers. How much better do you think Sean Rhyan can get having played left tackle in college at UCLA, having played both guard spots for most of his time in Green Bay when he was playing, and then being thrown into the deep end at center when Elton Jenkins gets hurt against Philadelphia? How confident are you that he can develop into not Corey Linsley, not Scott Wells, but a decent / better than 31st out of 40 center in this league?
Yeah, I think he can be a good solid center. I don't think he's ever going to be one of these top 10 graded guys, but like in anything in life, if you're saying, let me get better on the radio, give me reps. Let me get better as an actor. Give me reps. I want to be better as a center in the NFL. I need reps. I need the work. I need to see it. I need to feel it, and I need to understand it. And the more you can do of that, and then the more you in unison, because the center has a really tough job. I love Mike Flanagan. He did a great job. I always would give him grief because I'd want to get calls. You got to get the calls up because then we need to do it. And he understood that there is a lot on a center's plate. Mm-hmm. Every play needs to be, if you don't snap the football properly, and it's not as easy, just get the snap back there. Well, you're asking me to reach Grady Jackson, and he's playing a one technique, which is a shade outside, and I got to go to my left. That is not an easy thing to do. And then I have to get my snap. I got to get my hands in on him, and I got to bring my feet. There's a lot to ask, and there's a lot of tricks that centers have in their sleeve that you have to learn and understand. So athletically, I think he can definitely play the spot. I think it's learning all of those things, learning all the nuances that you can go in that can get you maybe a click or two better. Mm-hmm. But I think he can be a very solid NFL center, and with the contract that's what Green Bay gave him, that's what they're expecting too. And if not, I would bet donuts to dollars that after a year they can get out of this deal.
We will stay on the offensive line where they designed a contract that they could get out of after 1 year with Aaron Banks when they signed him in free agency last year. They're not getting out of that contract. In fact, if the numbers are right, they gave him $27 million a year ago, plus his base salary. Now they're giving him another $15 million as they have converted a signing bonus and much of his base salary to a restructured signing bonus that they can spread out the cap charge of that. What does that tell us? We'll get into what Aaron Banks' situation is, because that came down yesterday as well, coming up. But we want to welcome a new partner to Wilde and Tausch. It is the Walney Legal Group, which specializes in estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, elder care, and special needs planning. We're so excited to have them on board. And I told them this, And I will tell you this, I have been derelict in my duty. I think I've mentioned this on the show a long time ago. I didn't want to think about estate planning because I'm a worrier by nature. I don't know why. It was irresponsible of me. Well, now we've got Walney Legal Group on board, and I need to get my act together now that they're part of our team. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. And at Walney Legal, that's all they do. They're a boutique firm. They make the process easy. Tailored documents, no confusing legal jargon, just thoughtful guidance. So you can start a conversation with them today at walneylegal.com. That's WALNY legal.com. Lawyering the way it should be. Get into more of Gutey's maneuvering as we get ready for the legal tampering period to start in about an hour and 20 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It's a great day for Brewers baseball, and with Brewers checking from Associated Bank, you get a powerful lineup of perks all season. Leading off is express entry with incredible speed. Next up, 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. Sporty stuff. And third, up to 50% off home game tickets. But if you can believe it, there's even more you can score. Because with Brewers checking, you get the strongest lineup in baseball. Only from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
I don't know what this means for the Chiefs. They can go back and Brett Veach can turn some magic in the draft again, which he's want to do. He's done before. But the Chiefs might be in that area of flux with their quarterback, world quarterback coming back from a knee injury. Travis Kelce, we're still waiting on a decision from him. The other longer in the tooth guys on defense, how much do they have left? What are they going to do on offense to get maybe more firepower? But losing Trent McDuffie, they also they're going to release Jawan Taylor. They made that news the other day. Interestingly enough, they released him one step early, which is on brand. Mahomes he's posted, damn. This gives voice to what's up. But in Brett, you got to trust. In Andy Reid, you got to trust. In Mahomes' rehab, you got to trust. And I think the Chiefs will be back at it sooner rather than later because I always believe in them.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at WalneyLegal.com.
Mark Tausch here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria. keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Rolling on the free agent frenzy Monday as the NFL's legal tampering period, which I don't love that term, but it's just sounds better than free agent open negotiating window.
I did see open negotiating for the first time today, and I thought, that probably is better than legal tampering.
Right, because tampering's illegal if you can't make something. The legal speeding period on Highway 43. Rashan Gary, in case you're joining us late, A, where you been? And B, he has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys reportedly for a 4th-round pick, which Tausch and I are on the same team on this. That's a pretty good return for a guy that you were planning on releasing and who was hacked and posted his farewell by some hacker who also might be a Nigerian prince. Now, they got a deal done with Sean Ryan. He will be their starting center. And Aaron Banks will return for a second season. So they keep number 75, the guy who wears Brian Bulaga's old number, and they keep number 65, who wears your old number, but they've given him a hell of a lot of money now, old boy. $27 million plus his $1 million and change base salary last year. Now he had a $7.7 million base salary for this coming season. He had a $9.5 million roster bonus that was due this week. He gets almost $16 million now guaranteed. So now he is up, if my math is correct, to about $43 million. They lower his base salary to $1 million and change. They cut his cap number essentially in half, according to Spotrac. He went from a $24+ million cap number to a cap number of $12 million. How do you feel about them keeping Aaron Banks, not just for consistency's sake, so you have another starter who's actually going to be back, but also how good do you feel about the level he's playing at and whether that's money well spent?
Well, it doesn't matter if it's money well spent. It's money, and it's being spent, and he did not play well at the beginning of the season. He was hurt. He was unable to practice a ton, and it showed. And I think by the end of the year, you started seeing more of why Gutey decided to pay top dollar for Aaron Banks. Do I think if they had a do-over, they'd do it over? I do. But that's not how this business works. And I think for Aaron Banks, he did play well and better at the end of the season. And they're hoping and needing him to be the guy that they brought in. And they need him to do it for the entire season, not starting late October. They need him to start doing that in September. And I think that will also help Sean Ryan be a much better center. And it's going to help Jordan Morgan be a much better left tackle. Do I feel great about how this played out? I think that this was one of the cases where they went bold and I think overreacted to a tough game with Elton Jenkins getting hurt in the playoff game, and now they're kind of trying to piece together how this goes. I hope that it works out well, but Aaron Banks isn't going to get younger. I doubt he's going to get a lot healthier, but if he can play at the level that he played at, December, January, I think you could feel okay about where this is headed. But this was what I thought. I thought when they signed him, it was going to be a 2-year commitment. This almost makes me think it's going to be longer with the way they're shuffling money.
Right.
But he needs to – I think Aaron Banks needs to be a heck of a lot more consistent than what we saw last year. And that sometimes, again, injuries happen. But you're kind of going against your own – this is a couple times now. And the linebacker that they picked up over the weekend, it makes me wonder if Gutey's maybe looking at things in a little different perspective. But Aaron Banks will need to be a lot better in 26 than he was in 25, I think, in order to justify what the Green Bay Packers are paying him.
So now your projected starting offensive line, Tausch, from left to right, is Jordan Morgan, your 2024 first-round pick, Aaron Banks, a premium, highly paid free agent acquisition who did play better later in the season, but I couldn't agree with you more about the overcorrection reaction to the Philly game. Sean Ryan, who, again, you and I agree, is going to improve. He started 9 games as a center in the NFL. He's going to get better at it as he plays it more, but he was still the 31st rated center in the league. Anthony Belton, presumably, in his second season at right guard after being a second-round pick a year ago. And Zach Tom, who has battled some serious injury struggles the last 2 years, did get an extension last year, but now is coming off of a partially torn patellar tendon, which we think he had surgery on, but has not actually been confirmed by him or by Gutey. How do you feel about that starting 5?
I mean, I got questions. I don't think anybody's feeling great. We need to see it. So Jordan Morgan, he's an unknown at left tackle. Belton, big physical dude. Can he pass protect? I don't know. Zach Tom, I don't know where his health is. I would say this. I think you feel like there's more consistency and you're going to give yourself a chance to improve. But I don't know how much better you feel about this group now than you did at the end of the season. There's, Shido did not play well the last couple games. But Rasheed Walker was a really good left tackle. We don't know how Jordan Morgan's going to be. We hope. And I think athletically, he's more athletic than Rasheed is. But I've seen a lot of great athletes that have not been able to figure things out. So this position needed to improve. This is not going to be all that they do. They will address and bring in competition, and I think have a lot of depth that will push these guys. I don't know if Zach Tom had surgery. There's a potential, whether or not he's going to be ready for camp. I don't know. Right. And if you take him out of that equation, he is your best player right now. You take him out of that equation, then I'm really skeptical. But this group has a long way to go, both on the field and trying to figuring out what are they going to be? How are they going to go about their business? Because what they did last year was not good enough, and that this group did not get any reps together. But for the most part, you're talking, especially by the end of that season, that interior 3, they weren't good enough, and now you're running it back with them. Okay. Getting reps and experience is important, especially for young players. And if Aaron Banks can stay healthy, I think you can put together a suitable group. I don't know if you're going to get that dominant. Is there a ton of upside to what this group is going to be? Left tackle, there is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could say that. I think right guard, I think Belton could become a better player than what he was, and he will be. Mm-hmm. But I don't know about at center and left guard if you feel that way.
We're still not done getting you caught up on what all happened with the Packers and their roster. There was a trade as well. I'm very eager to see how this plays out because this is going against the Gutey archetype. We will get into that after Tausch tells us. Do you have another webinar scheduled yet?
Potentially one in April. We're still working through some dates, but we know that tax season is upon us. And when you did your taxes this year, Did you notice things look different? It's because there are a bunch of changes, including new deductions. There's a car loan interest deduction, a tax deduction for tips, a tax deduction for overtime pay, and a senior, Jason, applies to you, bonus deduction. And the standard deduction is higher for most people as well. Form 1040 added a new Schedule 1A to claim those new tax breaks.
Good to know.
It's not all the changes. There's even more. There's a time in my life I figured I'd take a break. Less taxes is better, and that still might be true, but really good tax planning, like they do at Annex, takes into consideration where you're headed, what your goals are in the next few years, and in your retirement. When you take the long view and have a plan, like the Packers have a plan, built by experts, it might make sense to consider you take the breaks and how you do it. Get in, talk with the experts at Annex. They're good people, and they know their stuff when it comes to taxes as well.
You're really kind of on this AARP joke with me, aren't you?
I like that all of our reads are suggesting that Jason's a senior citizen now. This is good.
It's kind of a nice...
Jason's almost 55 years old. Like, that's old.
Senior lunches on Wednesday at the Hard Rock and getting his Annex Wealth Management
He's getting his
stuff.
estate plan finally, even though we've told him to do that for 10 years. Yeah.
You guys are so supportive. I'm really, really appreciative. You're not too far from the big 5-0 yourself there, old boy. Just want to point that out. But I'm far ahead of you on the aging spectrum. That's 100% true as well. Speaking of aging, Brian Gutekunst acquired a player who will turn 30 before training camp starts. Who are you, and what have you done with Gutey? Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility, too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The Packers busy in advance of today's opening of free agent negotiation windows with the free agents of other players that aren't on your team. Packers have had the opportunity to negotiate with their own free agents. Got a deal done with Sean Ryan. But it would appear that Malik Willis, Rasheed Walker, Quay Walker, Romeo Doubs, maybe Kingsley Enagbare are all headed elsewhere. We'll see what pops in about 58 minutes when the negotiating window opens. But before that, and a sign that Quay Walker is not coming back, despite, as Tausch has pointed out many times, him telling me in the early season that he had a extension offer on the table from the Packers, which he chose not to sign, is that they traded for Zaire Franklin, a former now Indianapolis Colts linebacker, who will turn 30 in July. I did take some shrapnel from your buddy Aaron Nagler, saying this is a huge win for the Packers need more 30-year-olds for the culture something. I did feel seen when he posted that, but I still stand by that. And I don't think they need a bunch of them, but this sounds like, again, a player that in 2024, and we know that the league comes at you fast, as we have been taught by you, Tausch, but he was a second-team All-Pro. He was a Pro Bowler. He led the NFL in tackles.
This last year he did?
No, 2024.
Okay. What did he do this last year?
He did not have as good of a season, and that's why the Colts traded him.
Yeah, and the Colts fans seem very happy to get something back for him.
Are you saying it's a little Rashan Gary-esque?
I think more so. It was a very interesting move. I have to admit I'm not a monster Colts. I don't follow a ton of the Colts.
JT23 you do.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. As far as defensive-wise goes, this is an odd move. Wooden I thought was somebody that I don't know what your future plans were going to be for him, but Gutey likes young football players. Mm-hmm. This is not one. And now, could this be a bridge to maybe if you know how, you're pretty sure Quay's gone. That's why you make this move. And, is Hopper going to be the guy? Is there going to be a different player that you draft? I don't know how all of that is going to shake out. But I think this was more an attitude. A a style of play, because from all accounts, Jason, you can break the film down like you did with Hobbs. He has an edge. He plays with some nasty. He will bring some leadership along with Micah, and I think they're trying to, this defense is trying to get more of that. And whether or not he can run and do all the things that you need to play linebacker in this league at the age of 30, we'll find out. But this seems like, to me, we need to bring in somebody. We need to bring in a body that can fill a need, stop the run game, and bring some nasty. And until we see how he looks and what he does, I believe that was the first, probably as important as anything else, is why Gutey wanted to go out and get him.
So I don't know what Quay Walker is going to get on the open market. I don't know what the Packers' last offer was to him, but they were still trying to re-sign him since the season ended, is what I was told. Franklin has a $6.24 million base salary for 2026. He is going to turn 30. Obviously, Quay Walker is 25. Is it cost-effective to sign or to trade for Zaire Franklin and basically make this a one-year bridge deal and pay him $6 million, then overpay for Quay, who I don't know how people feel about him. I don't know how Packers fans. I think the views are mixed, right? He's had some moments, but certainly as a first-round pick, you would have liked to have had more from him. I also wonder what this says about Tyron Hopper, who seemed to be, as a third-round pick, someone that they wanted to give a chance in his third season to step into the starting lineup, along with Edgerrin Cooper and Isaiah McDuffie. We don't know enough about what Jonathan Gannon plans on running because we still haven't talked to him. But I think this is interesting, both what it says about linebacker and Tausch, to your point. Colby Wooden was a pretty good, inexpensive young player for them last year. They trade Kenny Clark, and he stepped in. I know that the game against Baltimore counts in the statistics, but did you realize they were a top 10 run defense before that game? They were tied for 10th in the league. They were 5th in the league based on yards per attempt.
Yeah, I didn't think that the run defense, obviously that Baltimore game was atrocious, but I thought outside of that, it wasn't as if teams ran the ball down our throat.
Right.
And with Colby Wooden, you always are looking for young, explosive players. Now this puts more on Carl Brooks, and it does make me wonder, is there something big in the hopper as far as going and trying to make a big play for a defensive tackle, or are you just going to lean and believe that Devontae Wyatt is going to be that guy and can stay healthy? Because no doubt Gutey looked at all this film and said, we need more playmakers in the interior part of our D-line. We need it. Who's going to provide it? Is it going to be, I trust that Devontae Wyatt's going to have a monster year? Or are there some players out there that maybe be a little older that could fit that mold? I don't know, but I would think defensive line with what happened and what the moves have been made, I would think that's going to be at the top of the wish list in this free agency period and obviously when the draft comes around.
I am told by people who really study the draft very closely, much like I studied Nate Hobbs after they signed him, that this is a good draft for big guys, both on the offensive line and on the defensive line, which would match up with the Packers' needs on the defensive line now. But they have traded 2 defensive linemen in the last couple of days, a defensive tackle in Colby Wooden and a defensive end in Rashan Gary. But Colby Wooden, I don't know if he was going to get some money from that pool that the NFLPA has, but he was going to only make $1 million and change this year. So you trade away a young, productive player who did not cost you much, and that's not usually the type of player that Brian Gutekunst is going to give up on.
It was a totally un-Gutey move to trade a young player for an older player for someone that didn't maybe have a great year. But, again, I do think you looking at this defense, you do need to bring there was a void from a edge. We've talked all this whole offseason about who is that guy that spits fire, that brings that emotion, that does that, and by all accounts, the cat they just picked up from Indy does, and we'll see how much he's going to be out on the field playing. But that's going to be, I think, that was the main. It's a very curious and different. You don't see Gutey do this very often, so there must be something that he loves about Franklin.
We will get into more of what the Packers plan to do or hope to do in the coming days. The free agent negotiating window is 50 minutes from opening. We'll get into that during the 10 o'clock hour. Want to remind you, though, at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, elite play, luxury stay, and you can bet on flavor. That's my favorite part. You don't have to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped, because your next getaway is waiting right there in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay, the biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites, perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And if you're hungry, you've got options, and a lot of them. From premium steaks at Dream Dance Steakhouse to pizza burritos and quick bites at the Marketplace, Rockin' Brews for their high-energy vibe, the Canal Street Cafe, Cream City Coffee Company, food and drink specials are happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, birthday, or anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into the Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I think we're all caught up, yes? No disrespect to Nick Neiman, who we did not get into his re-signing as reported by by Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated. He signs agrees to a 1-year deal per Bill. Really good special teams guy, played at Iowa, was injured, tore his pec during the season, and was on pace to be one of the leading tacklers in all of football on special teams. So a signing for new special teams coordinator Cam Acord. But the headline this morning thus far is Rashan Gary's trade to the Dallas Cowboys for a reported 4th-round draft pick. Tausch and I are on the same page. Good on you, Gutey. I can't believe it's a 4th-round pick. I'm flabbergasted. So good for him. I thought it was going to be one of those. I thought it might be, Tausch, one of those where they give you like a 5th-round pick, but you got to send Rashan Gary and a 7th-round pick back or something like that. So good value.
Well, I think maybe what this tells us is that maybe we all here covering the Packers and watching them exclusively, maybe there's more of a market for Rashan Gary than we thought. Or Dallas is a bunch of idiots. It's one of those two things. I don't know which it is. Obviously, they traded Micah Parsons, which it's amazing. But Gutey has basically flipped, 2 firsts, Kenny Clark and Rashan Gary, for a 4th and Micah Parsons, and there's not a team in the league that wouldn't make that trade. That I know.
And both of those trades also got contracts that Gutey didn't want anymore off of his books.
It's turned out that way, yes. So Green Bay won that trade as we sit here right now, and I don't think that's going to change. Now, hopefully Micah comes back, and there's no doubt. I don't have a doubt. Micah Parsons is a dog, and he's rehabbing. I would be shocked if he's not. If it's not the opening week, he'll be playing in September. Would be my guess. As far as all this other stuff, yeah, Rashan Gary, he is a good football player. I want to reiterate that. And I know nobody on Packers Twitter or on our show, our YouTube and everything else is going to agree with that. He is not the dominant guy we wanted, especially after Micah got hurt. But this tells me that other teams in this league, again, or maybe just Dallas, were looking at him and saying that he can play football still. And he is still going to be somebody that you can count on to take a limited amount of snaps, but be somewhat, he can be impactful still in this league. And so now we'll find out if he, has taken this criticism, because I'm sure he's heard it. He's on social. He does all the cheese on everything. He has taken a beating. And we'll see if he kind of refocuses and can maybe finish or start next season off like he started this last season off. But he is going to be one of their focal points because they're paying him. They are giving him that contract. That was the thing that surprised me the most, is that he didn't have to take a pay cut. He didn't. Dallas is happy to pay it, and Green Bay is happy to take that 4th-round pick back in return.
All right, so he was a good player. Was he good enough? Probably not, right? I mean, the expectation...
He wasn't good enough for what Green Bay was paying him and what they expected, no.
You go the final 11 weeks without a sack, without a tackle for loss. They need you to raise your game after losing Micah Parsons, and he did not do that. I agree with you. He is not a bum. He is a good, solid player. But as we debate with fans who still don't like the A.J. Hawk pick in 2006, expectations come with being a first-round pick. And he was picked 12th overall in 2019. Micah Parsons was picked 12th overall in 2021. I think it's pretty clear which one was a better 12th overall pick so far in their careers. My question for you is this, because you taught me this a very long time ago as a 7th-round pick. If Rashan Gary isn't a former first-round pick, is he just getting released?
That is a good question.
Thanks.
And I would think the answer is yeah.
Yes, right? The talent is there.
Because when you look at it, and this is not being biased, J.J. Anikbario is a better football player at the end of the year. And don't say, well, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, Tausch. Ask Jeff Hafley. Ask Matt LaFleur. Ask the people that are in that building because they played him and they put him out there.
And he made plays.
So, there's always this perception. And it's you have the Badgers had their pro day here Friday. You do get judged off of your initial numbers and your draft status. That is in play. And the beautiful part about the NFL is that does go away to a certain extent. Rashan Gary, he goes through his business and he plays and he does what he does and he gets that salary. That's the part that is still just dumbfounding to me, is that he is going to make that full-on freight for someone that I think all of us look at and say, well, boy, he wasn't very productive. Good on you. Maybe you see something or do something that you don't. I would bet that when all is said and done, Green Bay is going to look at this and say, we got good production out of Rashan Gary for a while. We overpaid him, and we were able to get a fourth-round pick back. I think the Green Bay Packers, this is going to be a pretty good day, I believe, for Brian Gutekunst to be able to pull what he got out of Rashan Gary.
We will see what else he pulls off as the negotiating window opens in 39 minutes. Tausch, I'm curious. You mentioned some of the YouTube responses. It's been very lively in there. I'm very curious how our fans feel, kind of the big picture as of right now, in terms of what everything that they've done means to them. You feel like taking some calls?
Sure. I'm actually, that is a good question, because from my perspective, I feel like we've done some really good planning for the future, but I don't know if we've gotten better for next season with what we've done.
Really good point.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think we've stockpiled and done some really smart, long-term. Like, this is one of those cases where I think the general manager and the front office have done a really good job, and I wonder what the coaches feel. Have we gotten a lot better? I don't know the answer to that. I know offensive line-wise, I don't feel a ton better. I feel like, okay, well, status quo. Status quo was definitely not good enough last year.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're banking on a first-round pick that's going to be in his third year. And I like Jordan Morgan. I think he's going to be a good player. So, all right, let's see it. And as far as the defensive line goes, the only way you feel good is addition by subtraction. And if you feel good about that, okay. But I don't know how you could look at what we've seen so far. You're seeing a lot of subtraction. A lot of subtraction.
With a lot more to come, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm saying when you start looking at who's all going to be signed and tampered with today, you're letting a lot of guys go. And I feel really good about our receiving core, but I don't about the O-line. I don't know if I feel better about the linebacker spot, picking up a 30-year-old and letting Quay Walker walk out the door. I don't know. Does that make this team better tomorrow? I would say no. So, let's get to it. Let's hear what fans have to say.
All right, the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. How do you feel right now? We're about a half hour away from the negotiating window opening, and Quay Walker, Rasheed Walker, Malik Willis, Romeo Dobbs, Kingsley Enagbare, maybe they've freed up some cap space and they can keep him.
I think this should be Enagbare gets brought back. That's what I think.
But he will, it would appear anyway, hit the market, so we'll have to wait and see. But how do you feel right now as a Packers fan with what the Packers have done? Trading Colby Wooden, trading Rashan Gary, acquiring Zaire Franklin, re-upping Aaron Banks essentially with a restructure, and re-upping Sean Ryan with a new 3-year extension. How do you feel about where the Packers are at as we speak? 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I know Jesse's got a few text messages already that we'll get to. We'll get to some of your calls as well after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
What a win down in West Lafayette without Nolan Winter. I'm going to be heading down to the old Big Ten tournament this weekend. Badger fans, American Family Insurance wants you and 3 friends to have that game day of your dreams for next season. You can win on-court access before the game, incredible seats to cheer on your favorite team during the game. You get a bunch of Badgers swag. It is a great experience. Head over to amfam.com/Badgers to enter the Dream Day sweepstakes. Again, you get great seats, you get great swag, and you get to come down on the court pregame, meet a bunch of folks. amfam.com/Badgers. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly.
Did you get what you were hoping for from a Big Ten tournament scheduling standpoint?
No, because I wanted to work.
Gears?
I wanted to work Thursday and then go and was hoping that it was, it was very close to actually having a triple bye. Like Illinois was in a dogfight with Maryland yesterday. It didn't work itself out. So I was hoping for a later game Thursday, but again, the Badgers had a heck of a season. Don't think we're going to see road warriors like what we saw this year. And by the way, I think if you start looking around outside of Michigan, I think we're the best team in the Big Ten. I think we're the second. You don't think we're the second best team in the Big Ten? Really?
Illinois is projected as a 2 seed and a strong Final Four candidate when you look at all their metrics.
Didn't we just beat Illinois down there?
We did.
Oh, interesting. Doesn't the games on the court actually matter, or is that not how we do sports anymore?
If it was a best of 7, do you think we beat Illinois 4 times?
I don't know. Let's see it. I'll tell you what, I'd like to watch that.
We might get a chance on Friday.
Is that the Friday? Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the bracket because we're not going to talk about this beyond now because we're going to get to your calls. What a weird-looking bracket, right? Like, I've never seen a bracket that's designed this way. Like, there's a bunch of empty spaces because all the way to Friday, you got 4 teams that aren't even playing.
There's a quadruple bye.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of Badger fans that think win the first game and then just get out.
Yes.
I don't love that thought process, but I understand it, especially with Nolan and, depending if we have to go out west. I think the conference tournaments are going to go the way of the White Buffalo.
So Penn State plays Northwestern, and Maryland plays Oregon. The winner of Penn State Northwestern then will play Indiana. And then the winner of Penn State, Northwestern, and Indiana will then play the Badgers.
I just want to bring this up. I did not bring this up, just so you guys know.
I thought we were playing USC or Washington. What happened there?
Yeah, we play USC or Washington.
That's not the way this... Oh, maybe you're right. Thank you for correcting me.
It's
a hard bracket to read.
It's a bracket. How hard can it be?
Reading is difficult.
We'll get to your calls next on the Packers. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
Mark Tausch here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply. Mark Tausch here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria. keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com. $2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tausch here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, presented by Old Fashioned Golf, is back at the Mosh Performance Center in Franklin, March 13th through the 15th. The show has been reimagined with a simple goal: turn it into Wisconsin's ultimate golf party. That's why Vibes Golf Club, a group of golf-loving former Badger football players, including Melvin Gordon, will be at the show all 3 days. Plus, Bridgestone will be doing some ball fittings, and Carl's Place will be powering Simulator Alley. To learn more, log on to GreaterMilwaukeeGolfShow.com. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Couple of interesting tidbits. Much more interesting than my misreading of the bracket for the Big Ten tournament. The Falcons reportedly are making a strong push for Tua to be their next quarterback after the Dolphins are releasing him. And the Arizona Cardinals, coached by Matt LaFleur's younger brother, Mike, apparently are going to be very aggressive in their pursuit of Malik Willis.
Scared money don't make money.
Any of those pieces of information pique your interest, old boy?
No, Tua, it makes sense. I think Tua, you're not going to have to pay him anything, and they have a quarterback that's left-handed that is injured. You're in a dome. You got some talent. So, yeah, I think that's a flyer that would make sense if I was Atlanta. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't love Atlanta, so it's no big deal.
Think Malik Willis can succeed in Arizona?
I think it's going to be tough. I think Malik Willis has really found his niche. I think he deserves this opportunity, but do I think that a team that is in that division, it's tough sledding, man. If I was him, and if it's strictly now, if I'm take every dollar you can get, no doubt about it, but I would rather go to Minnesota if I was him.
I agree with that as well. All right, let's get to some of your calls, Jesse. I know you've curated a bunch of texts as well, but let's go to the phones. How do you feel, as of right now, about what the Packers have done? Obviously, a lot, as Natasha Bedingfield might say, is still unwritten. But how do you feel about where the Packers are at as of now?
Are the Packers better today than they were coming into the weekend?
No. Oh, you were asking everyone else. 844-770-3776. I figured you'd be happy that I answered a question.
Smooth.
Without.
No, I don't ask. What Jesse and I were discussing on Friday, we got to be very pointed. So, no, we're good. We're good. I do think that, to me, is the question of how this last 4 or 5 days have played out. And I'm in the no category right now. That doesn't mean it will be that way when we start getting bad, because just getting Tucker and Micah back puts me into the yes category. But I'm saying as we sit here right now.
844-770-3776. Are the Packers better now than they were a week ago? Let's go to the phones. Let's start right here in Green Bay with Eric in Green Bay. Eric, good morning. How are you today?
Morning, doing good. How are you guys doing?
Outstanding. Thanks for asking. Good.
All right. So I don't think the Packers are obviously better today than we were a week ago, but I think we're better financially, and I think we're better in that we have kind of a sense of where we're going in the future. I think the big objectives for me kind of over the weekend with the last-second trades and contract extensions was that we don't get into a bidding war with a guy like Quay Walker and pay him more than he's worth, or retain Rashan Gary and kind of run him back again. And we kind of know how Matt LaFleur is sometimes with his loyalty. I would say the big thing for me is, like, I love the Zaire Franklin trade, and I wonder if he can kind of be like our Eric Wilson. And obviously, he's a guy that Minnesota found value with, and they brought him back last year. Now they extended him again. And, Franklin's a guy who is I believe he was a captain in college and continued that with Indianapolis. And from everything I've read about the guy, he's a hard-nosed football player and a big leader in the locker room. And I kind of think last year, especially when we kind of hit that 5-game skid and when Micah went down, and there was kind of a sense of when things started going downhill for us, it was going to continue that way. That the lack of veterans, the lack of guys in the 30-year-old age bracket might have been one of the reasons that we kind of collapsed the way we did. So I like that trade. I don't mind the loss we had there, and I'm eager to see what we have going forward. I think financially we're in about as good of a place as we can be.
Wow. You're not concerned about him being a downward trending player?
It was 1 year, and again, I think every other. I love his story. I love the growth into his role. I'm obviously you're cherry picking highlights, but just seeing the tackles for loss and the way he attacks the ball, it seemed like that's one thing we lost as the year went on. And obviously, there's such a question mark on how he's going to fit into this defense. And like you said earlier in the show, nobody knows what Gannon's going to run, but. I think there's going to be value there to replenish the defensive line as far as like what we gave up, either in the draft, which sounds pretty good, or even just again maybe some day 3, et cetera, free agent pickups. I think I like Franklin at his money better than Quay Walker at his money.
I like the
leadership,
fair.
And I like the leadership.
Yeah, former 7th round pick. Self-made guy. You're right about that, Eric. I don't disagree with you on that. I can't talk out of both sides of my mouth, right? Say, hey, you need guys that are a little more experienced. Is it so wrong to have guys that have had their 30th birthday, which he will have in July, and then say, I don't like this trade? I am curious what they're planning on their defensive line, because they were thin before they traded Colby Wooden. And they don't have that bevy of draft picks this draft. They have them, theoretically, next draft. So I'm curious to see how they replenish that department. And they still have needs elsewhere, including corner. Thanks for the call, Eric. We appreciate you.
You can, by the way, you do. I mean, that's hedging, right, when you say that. I mean, that is hedging. You could, because there is.
I'm sorry?
No, I mean, you can hedge. You could say, I can say one thing, and I can also say, well, he is older, and he might not, his better days might be behind him. I guess the point, and I don't know if Eric was making this or not, is you're going to have to pay Quay Walker a certain amount of money.
Yes.
And what I like about the trade from this perspective. That's why I said the front office had a hell of a weekend. I don't know if the coaches on the field are going to feel the same way, because Quay Walker, I would think, with the money he's going to make, is a better linebacker than Franklin. But you solidified, and what you did is you took away. You don't have to go out and find and scrounge around and try and find someone that maybe you don't want as much. Here you targeted someone that you think can be a nice player for a year. You're not, giving up any big amounts of money, and you can be done in a year, and you can draft the future, or Hopper could turn into it. So when you look at roster building, I love the play. But as far as on the field, who's better, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that would say I would rather have Franklin rather than Quay Walker.
I would agree with all those statements. Let's get another call in, and then we'll get to some more on the other side. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Let's go north of the border. I need Ricardo to hook me up with Season 2 and Season 3 of Law & Order Toronto, Law & Order Criminal Intent Toronto. So it's not available in the U.S., and I streamed the first season, and that's all I got. Ricardo, A, can you help me out with that? And B, do you think the Packers are better than they were a week ago?
Morning, guys. Good morning. And A, yes, I got a guy that knows a guy that can get you one of those nice boxes. We'll talk off the air if you want, but we can get you whatever you need anywhere in the world. We got you covered, no problem. I always got a guy. Second of all, I gotta love.
Say no more, Ricardo.
Yeah,
do not tell us anymore.
It's more than enough.
Yep. International stuff going on here. We don't need to know.
Yeah, I got a guy that knows a guy. But listen, Gutey, he's cooking right now. It's like the thing I like about Gutey right now, he's doing a lot of course correction. You know what I mean? He's clearing up space. Are we better today than we were yesterday? No, we're not physically as a team. But guess what? We don't play a game on Sunday. That's the beauty of it. We only play in September. All right. We're cleaning out all the old, cleaning out all the clutter. Starting to make up starting to get some better feng shui for the team. And now we're gonna the draft coming up, and now free agency opening up. There's something is brewing, and I'm very happy. The Sean Ryan re-sign I was very happy with that, because it's good to have some continuity. Did he have his best year? No, but he was thrust into a spot where it happened mid-year. Position he hasn't really played. Now he has a whole offseason, a whole year experience. That's always going to be valuable. Let Gutey cook. Colby Wooden, great Packer, great guy, great Packer. But there's probably like 30 Colby Woodens. You know what I mean? A 297 nose tackle wasn't really doing it for us. We need more beef in the middle. I think that's where he's going to lean up going forward. I think he's going to start some more veteran D tackles, some 330 guys, plug up the middle a little bit. I'm happy. Let Gutey cook, but he's done the first half. He's got rid of the clutter, but now let's see what he brings in. That's where he's gonna he's gonna earn his paycheck. But I'm happy. I'm content. Go Pack, go.
Are you in any way concerned about the exodus of the players that they're going to lose? We know Malik Willis will get a starting opportunity and a good contract. Rasheed Walker, Quay Walker, Romeo Dobbs, maybe Kingsley Enagbare. Does that concern you at all?
Personally, the only one that I would concern me is Enagbare, because I think he's a good. I don't think Enagbare is a world setter, world beater, but you win with Enagbare on your team as a rotational player, a guy that can come in, give you 30, 40, 30 snaps a game. Rasheed Walker, not concerned about. Jordan Morgan, I think he's going to be fine. If Jordan Morgan gives us 7 to 8 solid years at left tackle, doesn't have to be all pro, but solid, don't have to worry about him plug and play, that's a win for everybody. I don't care what people tell you. I don't care if it was first round, second round, left tackle. And Malik Willis, it's a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? We got to be able to find somebody else. You can't hold him back from pursuing his dream and earning his money. And Romeo Dobbs, I love the guy, but I'd rather have Matthew Golden. You know what I mean? We saw what Golden did when the limited opportunities in the playoff game. It comes to a point where you like the Jetta, but you got the Corvette.
Gotta let kids graduate. Gotta let kids graduate, Ricardo.
Exactly. Got to let him go. Got to get him. Got to give him the opportunity. You can't do it with the guys in front of him. So, all the best to Romeo Dobbs. Hopefully you succeed, just not when you play the Packers.
Thanks for the call, Ricardo. We appreciate you. I kind of like the Corvette. You're a Chevy guy. I thought maybe, the Corvette analogy there. I kind of like that one. I am very curious to see what these departing players get on the open market. I don't know if the Packers will sign anyone or agree to terms, with anyone today. But I am very curious to see what kind of deals the rest of these guys get with other teams, especially Quay Walker. I think Rasheed Walker is going to, how do I say this? He's going to get broke off. I think he's going to do pretty well for himself because it's hard to find left tackles. I'm really curious what Quay Walker's market is going to be because he had opportunities to re-sign here and he chose not to. And now I'm eager to see what the market comes to bear for him. We will get to more of your calls. 844-770-3776. Coming up on the Carbless Talk and Text line after I remind you. We talked about Aaron Banks, but when we really talk about banks, we're talking about Associated Bank and their best customer service in the industry with the awards to prove it early. So you have access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early. Credit monitoring, so you're ready to make that big purchase like we were when we finally got our new couch from Steinhoffels. And, of course, fraud protection. They had my back when someone tried to steal my identity and my accounts. All those things are important. So is being able to support your favorite team. So Brewers checking, Badgers checking, and Packers checking, or just like me with regular old Associated Bank logos on your checks and on your debit card. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
With your Scaniac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. The Golden Eagles celebrated Senior Day in style as they ended the regular season with a massive upset win over number 4 UConn at Pfizer Forum on Saturday. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was spectacular yet again as he poured in 19 points with 7 assists and 2 rebounds.
James takes on everybody, throws it up toward the basket, it goes in. I don't know how that went in. How did that go in, Tony?
Marquette will attempt to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament as they'll face Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
For your fellow fanatics and your #1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Let's get to one more call, and then during the 11 o'clock hour, when we could have lots of breaking news, we'll try to get some of the texts you've sent to the Carbless Talkin' text line. And we'll play trivia next, so we're ready to pounce when a variety of NFL teams pounce on the Packers' impending free agents. Let's talk to Blair in Wanakee before we move forward, though. Blair, good morning. Thanks for holding on. What do you got for us?
Good morning. The one thing I just have, and Tausch, you could probably really help me out with this. It seems to me there were the reports over the weekend that I don't know if they were true or not, that we were trying to get Carter from the Eagles or Lawrence from the Giants. You know, it seems to me like we may be making that switch to a 3-4 defense. And, you know, with getting Franklin and Cooper would probably play the middle. I mean, I know Quay Walker turned down an offer already, but do you think there's a chance that maybe we're clearing this cap space, we come back to him with a bigger offer, and he plays one of the outside linebacker spots in the 3-4? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think on that? Because, like, as far as Van Ness goes, to me, he's a prototypical 3-4 end. I mean, being more of a tackle position when he played at Iowa, he's good from the inside. I mean, what do you guys think on that?
Good question, Blair.
Thank you, Jesse.
Sorry, say that again. My bad.
Which part? I mean,
all of it.
I had on. I can.
It's my fault.
Yeah, I'm not blaming
I'm
not blaming anybody.
I did it.
I don't even know what I was saying. It'd be nice to hear from Jonathan Gannon to get a general idea. I think you're going to be very multiple with what you're doing. And does it make a huge difference what you're going to do base defense? Yeah, I mean, as far as how you're addressing, but you're addressing personnel. I do wonder if, you know, when you trade a Colby Wooden and you're bringing in linebackers, I don't think things are going to change drastically. But I do wonder if you're going for, a home run. And the Eagles signed the other Georgia defensive tackle that I always forget. He's a monster of a man.
Jordan Davis to an extension. They've drafted really well, so they're going to need to probably trade certain guys. It could be, oh boy. And if it is, I want him here. Jalen Carter would be a great addition. Mm-hmm. I think the Bears would look at grabbing him. There would be a ton of teams that would say, yes, please, because he is a disruptor. Now, and you got to pay him, too, right?
That's exactly right. And Philly decided not to, at least not yet. That doesn't mean they won't, but I would think that they're probably going to trade him. Maybe not till after this season. They could tag him and do that. But you always have to worry. He dropped He should have been a top 3 pick. He dropped because there were concerns. And I do wonder if Philly feels as if, has he alleviated all those concerns? Because great teams don't let great D tackles walk out their building. So there's obviously that's a red flag as far as what that would look like. But it's a flag that I think you take a shot on, especially over a 1-year period of time. So I would bet that somebody is going to make a big, bold move, whether that's going to be Green Bay. Nothing would surprise me because Gutey has shown when an elite talent is available, he will pounce and make a move. I don't know if Philly would do the same in giving another. Can you imagine you pair him up with Micah? Woo! And you got Devontae Wyatt still available. There's a lot of moving parts that are going to get shaken out. I don't envision that happening in Green Bay. I think it'll be somewhere else. But, yeah, when you start hearing those rumors, you start thinking, ooh, boy, would that be something.
That would be intriguing. He is not going to be cheap. And to your point, the fact that the Eagles have both him and Jordan Davis, and they chose to pay Jordan Davis, is interesting and noteworthy. And you always tell us when good players are allowed to leave teams' buildings.
Great players.
Very great players. You have to ask why. We'll see. But that is intriguing. I do not think Quay Walker will be back. I am very curious. And again, I don't want to bellyache, but it would be nice to talk to Jonathan Gannon to get a better idea of what he's got in mind. Because he was hired on January 28th. Today's March 9th. Let's play some trivia. Jesse, what's today's category and what caller would you like?
The sports weekend recap. It was a busy one. No questions about high school bowling, but a lot of questions about everything else.
Oh, did I miss that? Was that this past weekend?
It's a shame that we had all this Packers breaking news because I've always loved the Monday after Bowl-a-thon.
I know. Lined up with free agency this year. Who knew? So we'll recap it at some point, but the rest of the sports weekend recap is today's trivia category.
Any big upsets in the bowling world?
A couple of surprise champions. Yeah.
Big upsets, though.
I would say in the grand scheme, yes. Not in the championship matches, but the fact that the team was there were a couple of surprises, yes.
You want caller 300?
No.
Okay. Anybody roll a 300 in the...
Sussex Hamilton, the boys co-ed team, won the championship in large part by bowling 12 strikes in a row over a 2-game total pin count format.
Ooh, that's big.
So that would have been a
9-pin or was it 10-pin?
It was 10 pins. So it would have been a 300 had it all been in one game. Instead, it was 11 in one game and then the leadoff strike in the next game. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, great bowling for Sussex
All right,
Hamilton.
So what caller do you want? I'm sorry.
12.
Caller 12, 12 strikes in a row. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 12 plays trivia. Now let me get ready for this. A limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing son of a gun. Woo! That's right. Ric Flair is coming to Milwaukee March 27th at the Riverside Theater. And March 27th can't get here soon enough for my vocal cords. Thanasis Antetokounmpo hosts Thanalysis Live with the WWE Hall of Famer and global icon himself. Not a cameo, not a 5-minute piddly interview. This is a full live show with high energy, unfiltered storytelling, behind-the-scenes moments you've never heard. And if you know Thanasis, you know he's bringing the juice as well. The energy, the laughs, the surprises, and when Ric Flair grabs a mic, anything can happen. Tickets are limited, so don't wait. Lock yours in now at taliveshow.com. That's taliveshow.com. Thanalysis Live, March 27th at the Riverside Theater, presented by Grubel Offices and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Say it with me. Woo! Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
What's what's up, everybody? March 27th, go get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be me, Finesse Antetokounmpo, my co-host, Tony C, and Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be an experience, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's basically a party/podcast.
Yeah, we're throwing a party at the Riverside, March 27th, TALiveshow.com. Who's the guest again? Can I get a woo? Woo! With Ric Flair. Can't wait.
See you guys.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season.
Marquette came away with a huge upset win on Senior Day, taking down number 4 UConn at Pfizer Forum on Saturday. Freshman Nigel James Jr. did it all for the Golden Eagles, finishing with 19 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds.
James takes on everybody, throws it up toward the basket, it goes in.
Senior Bedengold also came up big with a huge putback dunk down the stretch to seal the game.
James in the lane to the basket, layup no good,
Oh, big
dunk
goal,
follow
wow.
good, Ben Gold the dunk follow, remember that.
Marquette will look to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament as they will take on Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility, too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The free agent window is open. And there is already big news with a wide receiver. It is not Romeo Doubs. Alec Pierce stays in Indianapolis per rap sheet on a 4-year, $114 million extension. Now they need to figure out what their quarterback's going to do we're going to play trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. It's lobster season at Cousin Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
Let's welcome in our contestants. It's our old friend, Coach Mack, Aaron Mack. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good. Hey, guys. Happy Monday.
Indeed. Indeed.
Coach, you feeling good about what the Packers have done? Are they better than they were a week ago?
No, I don't think not right now, but I think it puts them in position to have the chance to be better in different areas with what they have. O-line still worries me, like Tausch said.
Well said. Let's see if you are as effective in trivia as you are in your analysis. The Sports Weekend Recap question number 1 is this. Which team's chances to secure a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament took a massive hit on Saturday following a loss to Marquette to close out the regular season? Was it UConn?
UConn Huskies.
Okay, yeah, well done. Your other choices were St. John's and DePaul, which is apparently a big deal in Chicago now. Hey,
I want to help keep you guys on track today.
That's kind of you to do.
Thanks, Coach.
You're a good teammate. Question 2. Following their Big Ten big road win over Purdue to close out their regular season, which seed did the Wisconsin Badgers earn in the men's Big Ten tournaments? Where they will not... Okay, good. 5 seed, yeah. All right, there's the bracket. I sent that to Jesse. That is hard to read.
It's not that hard to read.
Question 3. We're moving forward.
Follow the
Jesse.
lines.
We're moving forward. Question 3, Coach, is this. Which of these is a real college basketball team that secured its first NCAA tournament berth in program history by winning its conference tournament over the weekend? Is that King's College, Queen's University, or Knight State University?
QU, the Queens.
Man,
perfect week.
Light work for Coach Mack.
Perfect week.
Now wait, is Queens like New York Queens?
Nope.
Because
Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In their 4th
Queen
year of
City, right?
Yeah.
And the Emerald City. It's both.
Big weekend. Windsor alum or DeForest alum Max Weisbrot clinched down at Northern Iowa.
Yeah. Mixed feelings about that one.
They beat Bradley?
It's awesome. Hornseth from Brookfield and Weisbrod from DeForest are both on Northern Iowa, so they're going dancing, but they beat Bradley on the way to winning the Arch Madness crown. So mixed emotions for me. It's cool. A couple of guys I called games for in high school. Sad my alma mater lost.
Old Uncle Bobby up in Wisconsin Dells has the Lady Chiefs back at the state title, or the state tournament, so we're going to support him this week. Been a good weekend.
Yeah, Jesse.
Good for Coach Mack.
It's a good Monday for you, Aaron. You got all 3 right.
Muskego lost to Oak Creek.
How did the Forest bowling team do?
I didn't see him at state.
They weren't up there?
Yeah, Muskego lost and Bradley lost in the same hour on Saturday. It kind of sucked.
Tough weekend for Jesse. Good weekend for Coach Mack. There we go. We got so that's another summary question for later this week.
Love it. Thanks, guys.
That is Wilde Tausch Trivia. Coach Mack has 4 entries into Friday's drawing. That is trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. The 11 o'clock hour, as free agency is underway, starts in 2 minutes. So stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And if you were anticipating a flood of signings, we have not yet gotten them, except for right now.
Breaking news?
This is not breaking news, but this is, again, I don't know what to think of this. And if this is a critique of the Packers coaching staff or just a change of scenery makes a difference. So 2021 first-round pick Eric Stokes, right, who the Packers moved on from after the 2024 season, signed a one-year kind of prove-it deal with the Raiders. Per Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, Eric Stokes gets a 3-year, $30 million deal that includes $20 million guaranteed to stay in Las Vegas.
Good for him.
That is good for him. On a day that the Packers traded Rashan Gary to the Dallas Cowboys and are expected to lose Quay Walker. Both of those guys also first-round picks. It's good for Eric Stokes to get a bigger deal from the Raiders. But how do you view how he has basically turned his career around in Vegas after, as you pointed out, that first year, finished the season as a rookie very strong, and then derailed by injuries, inconsistent play, and not brought back to Green Bay? What does that say about him that he gets this deal?
Yeah, good for him. As I just quoted, I think he's stuck with it, and I think he's another good example of not giving in. And, there's plenty of players that will have some adversity, and it's just got to bounce around, and especially guys that are drafted high. I respect the heck out of that. So whether or not that alleviates, what should have Green Bay done, anything else, sometimes you need to get knocked down in order to really bounce up, and that's what he's done. So I always respect the guys that stick with it and are able to find their niche. And, it tells me that he probably shouldn't have been drafted as high as he was. And he's come around and done a great job of resuscitating his career and giving himself and his family a great opportunity to continue his career and earn some more money. So I love stories like that because I think it tells you everything that's great about athletics.
I have had a few people send me Cowboy fan reactions to the trade. There are those that would have rather just had Jadeveon Clowney, who has spent some time with them, I believe. And a fourth-round pick feels very pricey, appears to
Yeah,
Cowboys
I would agree with
fans.
the Cowboys fans. I totally understand it. I thought they could have probably gotten him for a seventh-round pick or wait till he got released. But maybe they're again. This comes from you have to also look at blind spots. We may I only speak for myself. Maybe have a blind spot in looking at Rashan Gary didn't finish the season well. They're asking he's going to be paid a lot of money for this next season. And I did not think anyone would want anything to do with that contract. They would much rather get a friendlier team deal in place for the next couple of years with Rashan. And the Cowboys decided that wasn't the case. So I'm very surprised by it. And I'm very happy as a Packer fan that this is how it played itself out.
So I'm intrigued by some of the Cowboys fan reactions to that. Jesse, on the Carbless Talk and text line, what have been the text reactions to some of the Packers' moves thus far?
We'll start with Jana in Pittsburgh because we always like hearing from Jana in Pittsburgh. I know that. So here's what she had to say. I can't imagine why they would not keep Enigbare. Can you explain why they might let him walk? I feel like LVN is still an unknown, and JJ has shown he makes plays. I can't imagine he would be overly expensive. This feels like a no-brainer in Ted's time. It's from Jana in Pittsburgh.
In Ted's time, you're right about that.
Totally agree with Jana. I think they should bring Enigbare back. The question, why let him walk? Money. And if there's somebody out there that is going to pay him more, there's rumors the Colts really wanted him. That he makes plays. I think he is. I think he's an underappreciated player for this team from a depth standpoint, but also Jana's point on LVN is an unknown commodity. 100%, no doubt about it. And you want to have some more depth built up in case something maybe doesn't pan out the way you want it. You can never have enough good football players on that defensive side of the ball, and I hope Green Bay brings Enigbare back.
The only thing I would say is that Kingsley Enigbare feels like the kind of guy that Gutey would sign from another team. So I would be really surprised, right? Like, young player, mid-round pick, his best football still ahead of him, has had some flash moments, obviously. Like, if you would go out and get him, if you were taking him from someone else, then you have to make sure that you keep him. And, again, I don't know if there are going to be teams that are going to have a much higher price point for him than Gutey's willing to pay. But I agree with Tausch and Jana. It feels like, especially after moving on from Rashan Gary, which we all expected them to do, even if we didn't expect them to get a fourth-round pick for him, that's a guy that you want to keep out of your free agent group. Jesse, what else do you have from the texts on the Carbless Talk and text line?
Nick and Wanakee reacting to the Rashan Gary trade. So either the Cowboys are the dumbest team in the league to give up a fourth-rounder for somebody they could have just signed, or there were other teams that were driving up the price on Rashan Gary. Which one is it?
Yeah, I think it's the Cowboys are pretty dumb.
So can we say without a doubt that Gutey owns who was the GM for the
Jones? I think is the one that.
Well, Stephen Jones for the Cowboys, and then
the
Joe
Jets
Douglas.
guy. Yeah, Joe Douglas.
I don't know. Maybe Chris Ballard is saying, "Hey, we got Zaire Franklin off of our books, and we got ourselves a good, young, inexpensive defensive tackle out of that deal."
Yeah, maybe.
But yes, he has definitely owned Joe Douglas, and it would appear Stephen Jones as well. And good job putting up that Michael Spinks photo, Jesse.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites around here.
I do think fourth round. Again, kudos to him, as I said at the beginning of the show. Very good job. I did not see them being able to get that for him. And I do wonder, and I think Big Cat Josh DiMaggio brought this up on our private talk and text line earlier. I do wonder if Rashan Gary wasn't in fact hacked, but he was trying to force his release and drive down his market. If that's what he was trying to do with his farewell, it didn't work. So he was trying to be released, and he was trying to make it so the Packers couldn't get as much for him, and they just let him go. It didn't work.
Well, not yet. I mean, he could if he really wanted to force the issue, which I think he'd be crazy because there's $20-some-odd million. I don't know how much more earning power Rashan's going to have.
Agreed.
He could just. We've seen this movie before where guys wanted to be released, and Rob Gronkowski's a good example where the Patriots are going to trade him to Detroit. And he didn't want to go to Detroit, so he said, "Nah, I'm not reporting. Don't trade me." I don't envision Rashan Gary having that kind of power to be able to pull that off, but he definitely wanted to be released. He put it out there. I don't think there's any alleged hack at it or anything else. And to Green Bay's credit, they didn't say no. Or they took, no, we're going to keep scrapping. We might find someone that values you the way that you should. And the Dallas Cowboys seem to be that team.
Jesse, what else you got?
One more here. This one's from John in Milwaukee. LVN time. The first month-ish of the season and when we inevitably open the season in Chicago. Also, can we please go exclusively offensive line and defensive line in the draft?
No, because we need to get a corner.
You need corner.
Yeah, you got to go get a corner. But yes, do I envision Green Bay investing heavily on both sides of the line of scrimmage? I would say absolutely. I don't think they're going to go dabble into the wide receiver spot. I think they're going to look maybe if there's a tight end that drops and maybe if there's a running back that drops that they really love. Not early, though. I think it'll be O-line, D-line, corner, and that's where they'll exclusively be looking, especially in the early part of their draft.
What about the LVN component of this? LVN time with Rashan Gary traded.
Yeah, no, LVN has to elevate. And, you're asking both him and Jordan Morgan to be the guys that you wanted when you drafted them. Both of those guys, I think, are going to be their development and progress will be a huge part of whether or not this team is going to be really successful or if they're just going to be a 7 seed and a 1-outer. Like both of these guys you're asking both to play premium positions as first-round picks that aren't rookies. They need to play, and they need to play well. And, yes, that doesn't mean they're going to be all-world, but they need to be good football players. And if they're not, you're going to end up looking at having to go find somebody at the trade deadline or that's the issue with this. And both of these guys are going to get these opportunities that I think they both have worked their whole lives for, and I hope that they're ready for those moments.
The Packers are most likely going to lose Quay Walker and Rasheed Walker. Tausch, you didn't expect them to get Kenneth Walker, right? You wanted someone like him, but you didn't expect them to get him. Well, for Kenneth Walker, there is.
Oh, where's Kenny going?
Ooh. He's going per Ian Rappaport, and then about a minute later, Adam Schefter, Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That rumor was going around. That's intriguing.
So,
you see Kelsey's coming back?
Is he? He committed?
That was the report.
They're working toward that, yes. Yeah. He's expected to stay in Kansas City. These are all names that could be on your board for the opening weekend of the NFL season when you play Prize Picks.
Oh, indeed. March hoops are here. It is one of the best times of the year. Jesse was already talking about some of the crazy, Arch Madness. You got the Big Ten tournament. You got a bunch of fun stuff coming up. It is the perfect time to download Prize Picks and use that code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play that first $5. Again, code WI. And suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. And it is simple to play. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Your picks are right, you cash in. Not very difficult. And if you like flexibility, you got Flex Play. You can get paid even if one pick misses and you want that big payout, go to Power Play. Download that Prize Picks app again. Use code WI for the great state of Wisconsin. You get $50 for free in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is good
to be right.
Green Bay women's basketball in action right now in a Horizon League semifinal, up 13-9 after one against IPFW.
Oh, the old 10 a.m. start? 10:30 start?
Noon in Indy, and I don't know how daylight savings works for them right now.
Yeah,
but
I don't think the clock flips. I'm not sure.
Always very confusing.
It's either 1 noon or 11 something over there.
Wait, Tausch is going to be at Indy soon. Do we need to be concerned about
Chicago.
his
He's
clock management?
Chicago. It's Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
That's why he's
Indy.
going to this one.
Yeah, Indy confuses me too much. I didn't want to have to deal with that.
We will see if in the next 4.5 minutes during the break, any of the Packers free agents find a new home. There's been a flurry of activity, but none of them yet involving Packers players or soon-to-be former Packers players. The free agent frenzy rolls on. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Break down all the lines, the locks, and the long shots with a weekly wager.
Yes, we know you made it this far, but you lost the way we told you have to stop losing.
With Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
You were a better team, you had a big lead, and then you did what we saw you do 3 weeks previous?
Tune in Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
Mark Tausch here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing else has changed. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, just 100 calories and gluten-free. Clean ingredients and big flavor. Always no compromises. Grab the new Carbless grapefruit 4-pack wherever you get your Carbless and find a location near you at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tausch here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Free agent frenzy Monday rolls on. But nothing yet on the Packers front. Are you surprised? I thought one of the first announcements, or not announcements, but breaking news from Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport or Tom Pelissero or Diana Rossini or who's the coffee guy again? Jordan Schultz was going to be Malik Willis's new home. That has not occurred yet.
It tells me either there's a lot of teams involved or the numbers aren't matching up, because it would make sense on Malik's standpoint. How many teams is Pittsburgh going to be in the mix on him? Mm-hmm. How many teams are going to be in the mix on him? And maybe that number, I think $30 million sounds like a lot for Malik. I think you're looking more like a 3-year. If he gets to 20 or 25 per, I think that's a really good number for him. If he's over 30, that's a lot of loot for a guy that he's been good, but Kurt Warner's breakdown, I thought, told a lot too. And good for Malik, go get it. But I do wonder if that number and maybe the reports of what he was going to get maybe aren't matching up with what the reality of the situation is.
And to your point earlier, and look, I really like Malik. I want him to succeed. He's a very likable dude. I do think that his situation, and you can say no blank, but it's going to really matter where he lands. And if he goes to a place that has historic franchise dysfunction, it's just setting him up for failure. Now, I don't know if Arizona is going to be different with Matt LaFleur's brother there now. He does have lots of history in this offense and with some really good coaches, but Arizona has not been a good place for quarterbacks for quite a while, and Kyler Murray was just the latest one to be an example. Is that something about Kyler Murray, or is that something about Arizona? I'm not sure.
Does he have a home yet, Kyler Murray?
He does not. A lot of talk about him to Minnesota.
He'll go to Minnesota. That's where he should go.
Yeah.
But again, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out for Malik Willis. And again, Rasheed Walker, Quay Walker, Romeo Dobbs, maybe Kingsley and Igbare, all expected to depart as well. But nothing as of yet on this free agent frenzy Monday, as the negotiation window has now been open for 33 minutes. I did think it was interesting that they added and I saw Tom Pelissero mention this yesterday. Before, you weren't actually allowed to talk to players. during this window. You can only talk to their agents. And now you can do phone calls and Zooms with some of the players. Would you have been reluctant if you'd have been a free agent to not be able to communicate with your team and have it only be agent related? Does this matter at all?
I don't. I think this stuff all is just window dressing. I think these conversations have happened. Everything happens in Indy. All of this other stuff is. These guys get all of their parameters down in Indianapolis, and then now the rubber meets the road. And it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to actually put pen to paper. And my guess is some of the higher profile free agents are trying to squeeze every last dollar out of any negotiation, and you still have 2 or 3 days before actual free agency opens. Again, this is just tampering.
Legalized tampering, to be sure. All right, well, we will continue to monitor this. But in the meantime, Tausch will tell us about UW Credit Union.
And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach all of your financial goals, and membership has its privileges. You get money up to 2 days sooner with early pay, and they have that great mobile app. Offers a simple way to check accounts, make transfers, and more. That is a smart play from the pocket. Join today at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Before we get to Whoa Nelly, Aaron in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments said something that piqued my interest with this new deal with the Colts and what they're giving Alec Pierce. Tausch, I want your reaction to this. I fear, and we scared. What does Matt LaFleur say? Scared money don't make money. I fear Watson will bankrupt us if Alex Pierce is getting $29 million a year. 4 years, $114 million.
Who said that? Who put that out there?
That was Aaron.
Aaron, Packers ain't going bankrupt.
Well,
the Packers
go
bankrupt. We are in big boy trouble.
Okay, I think he's speaking figuratively.
No, I'm saying figuratively, literally, in any way.
They're not going to shut the operation down.
They're not shutting everything down because they got to pay Christian Watson $30-some million a year. If Christian Watson, again, I would wait. I think you let him stay healthy, and if he pops, great. You pay him. But, Alec, this is the price of doing business in the NFL. You don't have any problem paying Micah Parsons $47 million. You pay Jordan Love and Christian Watson. He's going to be, in year 6 or 7 at that point. He is a difference maker. And if he stays healthy, he's a better wideout than Pierce. You pay him more. That's how this world works. And don't worry about the G&G financially.
Okay.
They are in a great spot.
All right. I'm sorry that Aaron chose his words poorly in your estimation.
You're the one who always says words matter. That's what you tell me. No, they don't matter?
Are you
what are you putting your hands up for like that, old Joe Bell?
Just let me
Joe Bell's doing this whole deal. Like, what are you putting your arms?
Jason's got this one.
All right.
Let me rephrase the question for everyone's benefit because I think it's an interesting one. Are you comfortable with the idea of giving Christian Watson 4 years, $114 million sometime in November after he has gotten off to a strong start this season? Given his injury history, does that give you pause? Because Alec Pierce is a similar player to him, big-time, deep down the field threat. Like, if I think that's what Aaron was driving at there. Are you in any way reluctant to take on that kind of a contract for Christian Watson?
Yes.
Thanks. Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at walneylegal.com.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer, specifically great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at brewers.com.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The free agent negotiation window continues to be open. Still waiting on breaking news involving any Packers departures or additions. So in the meantime, I think we get to hear a little bit about the Bowl Stream TV broadcast of the State High School Bowling Tournament from Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
So before we get to any bowling stuff.
Let's get to your bowling stuff first. Everybody's clamoring.
It's right up your alley.
That's a good one.
Well, Tausch brought in, he wants me to do a taste test challenge here.
What? I do, yeah.
It's an edible Whoa Nelly today.
It is. We had a nice, kind of a lazy Sunday, and I decided I've been pushing both of my kids to eat more protein. So I saw this little thing pop up, and it was it's a muffin.
Muffins?
It is a protein muffin that is made with no flour. So I made it, and I want Jesse's input because I'll let you know how it went at the house.
So wait, you made this?
I did, yes.
Not Eleanor, not
no,
Max,
I made this.
Not Sarah. This is an old tea special.
Yes.
And just to be clear, you made these fresh. You did not thaw. You did not
no, this
thaw
was all
them
fresh.
out of the
Obviously,
freezer.
it was fresh yesterday. It's not fresh today. Jesse did warm it up.
What? That's a muffin?
Well,
what happened to it?
It's a day old.
Well, it looks more like a. Well, I don't want to say what it looks like. Jesse?
It smells good. It smells peanut buttery.
Yes, there's peanut butter in it.
Okay.
We'll see if you can guess what else. I'm fairly certain you'll guess what else.
It's either blueberries or chocolate chips. I'm going to assume blueberries.
It's blueberries.
Okay.
Blueberries. So wait a minute. Did you make this from a mix?
Yes, I made my own mix.
Oh, no.
This is all natural.
You made this from scratch.
Yes,
then.
This is all from scratch.
This is either going to be delicious or it's terrible. So
keep the camera on him.
I despise talking with food in my mouth while I'm on the air, so we're gonna see how this goes, okay?
Big pet peeve of Jesse's. All right, here we go. For those of you listening over the radio, Jesse he's taken a bite. It still does not look like a muffin. You're using a fork, so this is no longer a muffin.
No, it's like a muffin pie.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment.
Blueberry muffin pie.
Okay.
Straight from Maine.
There's blueberry. There's banana.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely banana prominent.
Yep.
There's...
What a palate you've got.
Muffin and peanut butter.
So there's egg, peanut butter, banana, and blueberries. That is all that is in there.
It's not bad.
I'll let you know. What I think happened is it called for 3 bananas, 3 eggs, blueberries to whatever degree you wanted, and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
The bananas were too big, is what I think happened.
It's very banana.
Very banana.
Very banana.
That was what the input that my kids brought back, and that was why there's plenty of leftovers that I brought in. But you took more than one bite, which I appreciate.
It's good with coffee.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot better. I should have put some lemon in there. That's the mistake.
Lemon. No, I think you're good.
To battle the banana.
Could use more peanut butter, I think. A little sweet.
Okay.
Use a little more sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
That went better than I thought it was going to go.
I mean, I don't hate it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
edible.
My kids
Are you going to finish what's on the plate?
It's a pretty big piece. It was a pretty big piece. I thought it would be 10 out of 10. I thought he was going to brag.
So did you put these in the muffin molds when you baked them, or were they in just sort of a container? That does not look like a muffin.
It needs some work on presentation.
Well, it's a day old.
I don't think that's what matters. Plenty of food looks good a day old.
I will take your criticisms to heart and try and be better next time.
Whoa, Nelly!
I'm already starting to get flourless muffin recipes sent to me, including one from Pipe Jim. Oats, bananas, maple syrup, eggs, vanilla, and then blueberries or chocolate chips is how he likes to make it.
It's a little soggy.
It's interesting. We're starting to get a little bit more information here.
I wasn't sure how I wanted to approach the feedback on this.
I told you it was not Eleanor. Not when you ripped Eleanor. I thought that was IPT.
Yeah.
This was all me.
Okay. I mean, it's a little soggy.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I hate
news?
to interrupt the taste test and postpone our coverage of the state high school bowling tournament. But from Ian Rappaport, we have breaking news.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
Malik Willis has a new home. And it is South Florida / South Green Bay.
Miami.
3 years, $67.5 million. Mark Tauscher. Good point. Called it again. $45 million of it fully guaranteed.
Yeah. So 2 years he's got there.
But my math tells me that 3 years and $67.5 million is a shade over $22 million a year.
Yep.
So that sounds like John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley have signed their new quarterback and done it without paying a catastrophic for their already problematic salary cap price for him.
Well, they obviously Tua, they split it so that his cap hit is split over 2 years.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, this tells me that they want to establish a culture and they don't want to just throw someone in. They want someone that they think come in and win football games. And the Malik Willis part of this, when people were saying 30 and 40 million a year, I thought that was a little crazy. This makes a ton of sense for everybody involved. You're paying, Malik is getting a nice contract. It's going to be on the low end of starting quarterbacks, but he has, I think, earned the right to earn another big boy contract if he plays well in Miami. So this, I think, is a great fit for him. These guys know him, and he'll have opportunities with, I think, some weaponry down there that, do I think Miami's going to be a playoff team? No. But do I think what Miami is building and how they're going about it is the right way? Absolutely.
I think that that's a really good deal. Now, again, I am hoping that we can still I have still traded a few more text messages with Kurt Warner. I would like to talk to him about a variety of things. I would love to get his thoughts on where Jordan Love is in his progression, etc. But I thought his point, while it got some people riled up, all his point is that there is still, despite the successes he had as Jordan Love's backup, limited evidence of what he's capable of. Right? I mean, that was basically Kurt's point, was that you had like 28, I think, legit, like full-fledged drop-back throws that he looked at on film. That was what his point was.
His point was that there's a lot to prove yet.
Yeah.
I agree with Kurt. There's a lot to prove, but he's proven enough to get this opportunity. And I know Josh, you just said, oh, that's a steal. Well, if he's really good. If he stinks, it ain't a steal. If Miami can't win and he needs to be replaced midseason, it's not a steal.
Sure.
This is a great deal for Malik to put away a lot of money for him and his family, and he has earned that. But he still has a lot to prove as a starting quarterback in the league.
I wonder if that contract is big enough to fetch a third-round compensatory pick.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
it'll
either.
Be a fourth.
Interesting. Another interesting layer to that. But again, the first domino for the Packers
Jesse
free
keeps
agents.
Going back to that blueberry pie, though, for saying it ain't very good. He's wolfing.
He never said it wasn't very good.
He said it was mushy, and he said it was too banana-y, which the banana-y part I totally agree with.
Was there supposed to be oats that you left out?
I literally sent him the video of what the thing I saw was on. Twitter.
I wasn't on the video, so I don't know that.
It's not very good at the crust. I got to the crust part now, and that's a very strange consistency.
Was that really necessary?
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out, but you've taken 6 or 7 bites, which is a win.
Well, now I got to the end of it, and
I feel like the Green Bay Packers. I got you to bite, and I got a 4th-round pick back.
It's the Rashan Gary of peanut butter blueberry muffins.
A lot of potential.
We will wrap things up coming up. I want to remind you, Gruber Law Offices, we talked about it last week. What was that big check? $86,000, a big number. $26,000. I can't remember the picture that Tausch sent, but it was a lot of money, and it was all because of the free throws at the charity stripe, and it all goes to the UW Carbone Cancer Center from Gruber Law Offices. That's what they do in our communities. They support all of our different communities and all of our different sports teams, but more importantly, they win your case, and you don't pay unless they do. So go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more about the firm. And if you have been injured, make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You bid, they benefit. It's that simple. WTMJ's Kristen Bry here to tell you that WTMJ is hosting a silent auction for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. And the auction is live now. Bid now at WTMJcares.com. Bid on game-worn Giannis gear, a signed bat from Brewers slugger Andrew Vaughn, and a golf foursome at Morningstar Golf Club. You score something amazing, local families get the diapers they desperately need. Auction closes Friday. Bid now at WTMJcares.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
With your Saganac Plenty Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. The Golden Eagles wrapped up the regular season with a huge upset win over number 4 UConn on Saturday afternoon. Senior Chase Ross played a huge role with 2 big threes down the stretch as he was honored for senior day.
Into the corner, Chase Ross, heat check,
Chase
good.
Ross, back-to-back.
Heat check, 3, good, Chase Ross. Didn't I just say that? It keeps getting better.
The Golden Eagles will look to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament, where they will face Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
I'm Coach Greg Gard, and I've spent my career teaching young men the fundamentals of basketball: preparation, hard work, teamwork. But here's what else I've learned. Those fundamentals don't apply just to the court. They apply to life, and they apply to your finances. That's why I believe in Bank CMG. They're a community bank built on the same values, helping people prepare for the future, building wealth one smart decision at a time, and staying rooted right here in Wisconsin. Success doesn't happen by accident. It takes a game plan, it takes discipline, and it takes a partner who understands your goals. Whether you're saving for your family, buying a home, or planning for retirement, Bank CMG has your back. They're not just here to handle your money, they're here to help you grow it. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Bank CMG is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're out of time. We got to get to Rich Eisen. Tausch, any final thoughts other than muffins are delicious?
No, good for Malik, good for the Pack. I do think you're going to be right. It's probably not going to be a third-round comp, which we all assumed was going to be the case, but there's plenty more news to come probably within the next 5 minutes.
And we will talk about it all tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What's up?
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Come grow with us at